Alright guys, welcome back to another DFFOO video where we are going to talk about the Wyrm LUFENIA fight that is coming up alongside the release of Paladin Cecil's LD and BT weapon. Now this video is going to be a little bit shorter than my normal overview videos because there's really not that much to look out for in this LUFENIA fight except for just focusing on one thing, and that is just mainly keeping yourself healed up and to try to tank all of the upcoming HP hits that is going to be in this LUFENIA fight. So I'm going to give a few tips, and I'm also going to use a screenshot that I found, and thank you to the Tonberry troops because they provided this information for not just this video but of course for players who play the global version. So as always, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for future content guides. Let's talk about the Wyrm LUFENIA fight. So normally I have some gameplay for my LUFENIA overview videos, but since this was a raid event, I don't have any since it is a limited time event. So you can easily YouTube some gameplay if you're curious to know exactly what's going on and whatnot, but this video is kind of like just mainly just to talk about what I have noticed off of some videos and to kind of summarize it to make it a little bit easier for those who are trying to prepare for this LUFENIA fight. And of course, I will add some team comps in a pinned comment down in the comment section below, so that if you are struggling or in need of some help with setting up a team comp for this LUFENIA fight, that pinned comment will be down there as well. And of course, if you are needing extra help, my Discord server link will be in the pinned comment as well. If you are wanting to join, you are more than welcome to. Anybody can join, and me and everybody else will gladly help you out for this raid event. So we're going up against the Wyrm. Now, not only that, we are also going up against a mannequin, which is the Maria mannequin. The Wyrm is weak against ice and holy damage, but absorbs thunder. It is double resistant to magic attacks. Now, at the start of the battle, the LUFENIA orb counter will appear, but then it goes away once it reaches 80% or below of its max HP. But then it appears once again at 50% or below of its max HP. Now, the mannequin does not have a LUFENIA orb, so you don't have to worry about said mannequin. To be able to increase the LUFENIA orb, it increases by 7 when a player recovers HP with an ability. So take example, Rude skills pretty much all have healing in it, so whenever you use any of Rude skills, it will count towards increasing the LUFENIA orb counter. Now, Paladin Cecil, because this fight is obviously made for Paladin Cecil, his LD ability, and I believe his skill 2 also does some healing as well. Those count as healing abilities, which will increase the LUFENIA orb. Now, some tips that I have picked up from watching a few videos. The limit break attack is an AoE brave gain plus brave hits plus an HP attack. If the mannequins are dead, they will respawn again. Now, one thing to know, and just from that first tip that I have mentioned, is that with this fight, you have to constantly keep healing yourself because they are very HP happy. And that limit break attack is one that you should not toy around with, because if you get broken and if you don't have any way to be able to increase your HP, then you'll be dead. So plain and simple. So there are a few ways to get around that. Obviously, again, Paladin Cecil with his LD ability has that HP overflow, so that'll help you out when taking on that hit. Another one is Hope. Hope also has that HP overflow. Now, you may be wondering, what about Warrior of Light? What about like say Gladio? What about Bosch? Here's the thing though, this Wyrm boss, it ignores that, so you have to be very careful, and that's why I guess for myself, I highly recommend that you constantly keep healing yourself to make sure that you will not take any surprise HP attacks, because sometimes they may be brave, but a lot of times they're going to be HP attacks. And again, you can look up YouTube videos, some gameplays of this raid, so that you can see what I'm talking about, because you know, if it was that easily, I would easily just recommend Warrior of Light, or anybody who has pulled Warrior of Light with his LD weapon, and boom boom done. But yeah, this boss actually ignores those type of mechanics. Any type of like HP reduction or anything like that, it will ignore. So you have to try to gain as much HP as possible. So that's why, like, a good example would be Hope, Paladin Cecil. You can even include Paladin Cecil and his son Cecil, even though Cecil doesn't increase HP for the party, but he does provide a good amount of healing, and he also, if I'm not mistaken, he also increases his own HP, so he would be a character you wouldn't have to worry too much about. When the Hellworm reaches 50% or below, a red orb will appear. It gains a big amount of Brave, and the mannequin will respawn again if killed. Now, talking about the mannequin, the Maria mannequin, you don't have to worry too much about it, but if you can knock it out, it would be great because it'll do its Brave hits. But the thing is though, its actual skills will do some HP damage, but the HP damage, it's not a lot. But you still want to avoid trying to get broken against the Maria mannequin, because if the boss actually follows up with an HP attack afterwards, and it's gonna be a bad situation, let's just say that. So try your best to keep the healing up, try not to get broken, and you'll be just fine in this Lufenia fight. Now we're going to take a look at Tomberry Troop's boss notes and what they have noted from this Lufenia fight. So shout out to Tomberry Troop for this information provided. I will put the link down in the description if you are curious to check out their website or anything related to Global Opera Omnia. Now real quick, some boss notes that they have is that they are weak to Ice and Holy, absorbs Thunder and Earth. Now I'm not too sure if that's a mistake or not, but you know what, I could be wrong, but we're just going to go with it just in case. The Worm's recast move is a guaranteed hit. It dispels generic buffs. It is an AoE HP attack that ignores Brave / HP damage reduction buffs, and it also cleanses them of all their debuffs. So see, that's one thing that I forgot to note, which is why I like going further beyond in making sure that I find all the information possible for any future Lufenia fights or this Lufenia fight. Recast will summon or full heal the Maria mannequin. The Maria mannequin's recast will kill you on spot unless you negate her Brave gain or have HP damage reduction. That's why I said to avoid trying to get broken. Make sure that you have constant healing, because if not, you're gonna get into a very sticky situation, or you're gonna have to reset the fight all over again. So some other notes. Healing is something every character has access to, making the orb very straightforward to counter. Paladin Cecil, Theodore, Ramza, Rude, and Osceola are just some of the more popular choices to counter the orb. Paladin Cecil, besides countering the orb, enchants the party with Holy, allowing the team to hit their weakness. Onion Knight also covers the enchanter section for ice, but he won't help with the orb. Rude's Brave damage reduction for the party certainly helps against hard-hitting attacks, and his battery helps ensure that you aren't broken by the recast attack. His C65 is definitely going to be a big help if you do decide to bring him into this Lufenia fight. Finally, I call him Camel Nut, okay? Camel Nut and Osceola are examples of characters that heavily disrupt the enemy and their mechanics, aka HP attack disable. Really helps out against this fight, especially if you are in a tight situation where you are not prepared to take a hit. Osceola with her HP disable or Camel Nut with his paralysis definitely help out in this fight. Cam's Adele debuff can completely trivialize their attacks, while Osceola stops Brave gain and slows down the enemy. And of course, you have to make sure you have the LD weapons for both of them. This is not a required role by any means, but it does help to clear through this fight. So again, the biggest thing with this fight is to make sure that you are constantly healing, that you avoid trying to get broken, and you know, if you make sure that you take care of all those two things while you are shaving down the HP of the enemy, then you'll be just fine in this Lufenia fight. This Lufenia fight is not that bad compared to like some of the previous ones that we have encountered, and the one after this one is gonna be a breather. And we will get to that in another video. But other than that though, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully this information was informative and or helpful. And if you did find it informative and or helpful, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for future content. And once again, my Discord server link will be down in a pinned comment or in the video description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Appreciate the love as always. And I will catch y'all in my next video.